Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the SNHU Online podcast. My name is Giovanni, and I am a junior at Southern New Hampshire University Online. I am majoring in information systems with the focus in cybersecurity. And how have you guys been? It has been a while since you and I talked. So good to see you. Today, I'm just going to be walking you through the weeks where we are so far. So if you are possibly ending up taking this class, what to expect week by week. So this is our first module, obviously, for QSO-340, project management. And I want to start off, as we always do, is in the grades. So we're going to do a grades check. And in the grades check, I am holding A with 167.5 out of 172. And here's a couple of things I want to talk to you about specifically to Module 1. There are two major things. You have your discussion that you have to do and your Module 1 introductions. One, you are going to need to have a book by MindsEdge, Utilize No Book. So be ready for that. If you don't have the book, when you get to the portions as you're going through, it'll take you to the MindsEdge registration portion. When you go there, it's going to bring you here. And this is what MindsEdge Learning does. If you've taken any other courses where MindsEdge is a thing, but you're going to have to go to the bookstore, get your code so that you can log into here. Once you have done that, let's talk about this discussion post. So in Module 1, this is your normal introduce yourself, tell us what your major is, that type of thing. Nothing particularly different from that, but specific to project management is these two things. Do you have any knowledge or experience in project management? And what skills do you hope to learn from the class? Okay. Normal introduction. I spent about a minimal part of my introduction to the class actually diving into that portion. When you get ready to do your follow-up, so you're now responding to your peers, you're going to do a compare and contrast. Just make sure that you tie in 4 bullet points. If you are listening to this on the podcast, then you will be able to hear rather that there is a purpose to this objective. So they want to make sure who in the class actually has experience in project management. I have worked as a project coordinator before, but in this particular standpoint, I've never actually been a project manager. The information here will be good. Just, keep it brief but thorough. This is what all of your MindsEdge work will look like. A large part of it will be you going through a class and them giving you an introduction into project management, project success, that particular aspect. However, this is what you need to get completed. Now, if you are like me, and if you notice in the grading here, in the beginning, I thought that I knew what this was, and I thought I was good. Now, I could have just said, I'm good with a 75, but I'm like, no, I know these questions. So I had to go back, and some of them I didn't actually know. So I had to go back and get the higher score, which got me in the 90 percentile for it. You don't need 100% here. Just being honest again, you don't need that. But what you do need to do is make sure that you understand how projects work, because going into your next week, you are going to be working on an actual project, which I go into in the next video. So if you have not subscribed, this will be a great time for you to consider subscribing, because I go over these things usually week by week. So once you get done with that, you have to choose what project management software that you have. Now, I want to point out something that I didn't know. And I ended up this is the first time since I've been going to school that I ever had to reach out to technical support to find out what was going on, because inside of here, there are some guidelines, and those guidelines are outdated. So they're telling you that you can access this inside of this Microsoft Azure Dev portion for teaching. And these instructions that they give here are no longer really valid because I reached out to technical support and he was like, this information that you have doesn't really work as well anymore. Just want to let you know that as far as the VDI access part, if you run into the same issue as I did. So when I got here and I was looking, there's nothing over here because you have to remember that SNH made changes to the website, and specifically when they went through to change us over to Brightspace and they made sure these were changed, they did not update the instructions here for the project management software. If you're on a Mac like I am, then you're going to have a problem because Microsoft Project is designed for Windows. So please make sure you pay attention down here where it says Microsoft Project is currently only compatible with Microsoft Windows operating systems. So you have a couple of options with that. If you're a Mac user, you can do like I did. I just installed Parallels to run it because when I got ready to try, I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just do the Microsoft Project web version of Microsoft Project, which would have been fine. However, it didn't work right. So if you run into that issue, my solution was you either download Parallels if you want to run it without having to do a lot of work because you can run a Windows machine on your Mac, and you should be good to go with that. If you're not, here is the SNHU help desk, their telephone number, 855-877-9919. Give them a call. And the tech support was able to let me know, no, that information is out of date. And he gave me the correct information to how to access it. And that is it for week one. So I appreciate you hanging out with me and walking through this. And what I am doing is just trying to break this down. So just to recap, in your week one, you have a discussion post and you have the introductions to your first MindsEdge work, getting your feet wet into project management, and you've got a quiz that you got to do. That's all you got to do. If there's anything in this video or the podcast, if you're listening to it that has helped you, then please, drop me a like. It helps the algorithm know that this is helping other students. If there is something that you have a question on, please, below this video, you will find a place where you can make a comment. I do answer those. That is the quickest way for you to get in contact with me. I've had people that have reached out to me on different social media sites. I'm just telling you the quickest way is to just leave me a comment. It automatically lets me know that you commented, and I'll be happy to give you guys any type of answers that I can. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you for your time.